taking place in Egypt with the main aim of achieving sustainable development. Moving on, or let's say to be parallel with Egypt's vision for 2030. Well, on top of which is Hayat Karima, one of the most important initiatives or projects taking place in Egypt, Decent Life. We have here many entities, state entities, cooperating all together for the sake of achieving sustainable development, along with the civil society, private sector. Each and every citizen is participating in this important project, Decent Life. Over the phone, we have with us Dr. Youmn Hamaki, Professor of Economics at Shams University. Hello.
Hello, Nashwa. Good morning.
Good morning, Doctor. So, first of all, talking about Decent Life and all the projects related. So, how can this pave the way for more investments or more foreign investments to take place in Egypt and pave the way for better environment for economy in general?
Actually, Nashwa, the idea of Decent Life initiative is quite impressive, taking into consideration that Egypt is still suffering from the problem of poverty. We have a rate of poverty about 30% during the last 10 years, and I believe that according to successful experiences to address poverty, the most efficient way to do that is by the economic empowerment of poor people. And this may have very positive repercussions on the economy, and not only from the economic side, but like you mentioned, in sustainable development. If you do it strategically in the right way, you can achieve sustainable development, including the three dimensions: environmental, social, and economic. And from here it comes that Egypt started such impressive initiative, and by selecting some villages to start with, the main aim is to improve the quality of life for people living in these areas. Actually, these areas are suffering from severe problems regarding lack of government services. On top of them, sanitation services. The center of youth are quite, you cannot find center of youth to address youth regarding sports and other activities. Centers to provide government services, giving consultation for small farmers in order to coach them to cultivate their land in the most efficient way and to have a better income from their land. A lot of services are, not existing in such areas. And from here it comes that the main aim is to start to improve the quality of services in these villages by providing, all this infrastructure, starting from sanitation, drinking water, and all the services I have just mentioned. What we need to do, and today President Sisi is going to inaugurate a very ambitious, program in Sohag. Sohag used to be one of the most important governors suffering from poverty. There was a very, large number of poor people in this governor. And besides, the government was suffering actually from problem of unemployment, and unemployment of youth is very, very high. And from here it comes that these governorates in Upper Egypt used to be a very important part of Egypt as a source of immigration from youth into other governorates like Cairo and other governorates in order to find opportunities of jobs. Nowadays, and when we are talking about new strategic vision regarding improving the role of the industrial sector, today there is going to, we are going to celebrate inauguration of industrial complexes in which investors, taking into consideration small and micro investors, they can find, places in order to go and to start their own business. And besides, we have a strategic vision regarding investment map, what the economic activities could be feasible economically according to comparative advantage, how to attract, and we have the investment law, new investment law offering more investments, more incentives for investors in Upper Egypt and in specific activities that we are actually trying to support according to our comparative advantage. So there are a lot of, attractive, factors that may attract not only Arab and foreign investors, but Egyptian investors. What we need to do is how to coach our youth, how to direct them towards such opportunities, how to upgrade their capabilities so that they can benefit from these opportunities. And I believe that what is going to happen today, the inauguration of such very important projects, it means from us, from all institutions, the stakeholders, all the players in the field, on top of them, NGOs, they can play a significant role in upgrading skills of youth. So I believe that we have to work quite hard so that we can see our governorate producing and generating GDP according to our comparative advantage.
Dr. President El-Sisi is very keen to be very close to people. Whenever he's visiting any of the cities, he's always keen to move around, to stand with the people, Egyptian citizens, to listen to them, to discuss with them many of their daily challenges. So I'm talking in particular again about Upper Egypt and all what we have seen regarding the infrastructure and as you just mentioned, many different other projects that have to do with the daily life. So how can this increase the production of these cities in the future? Because each of the Egyptian cities, one can say it can be a hub for a certain manufacture. So tell us more about this. What kind of treasures we are talking about and how can this increase the production of the area?
Actually, our studies as economists for Upper Egypt specifically can mention that we have a lot of resources that still are unexploited, Nashwa. Like mineral resources, they are quite unexploited till now. We have, food industries. Still, we have a lot of production for food industries that can be produced in Upper Egypt. We have the best, onion and garlic in these areas according to our studies. So still, we have a lot of potential investment in food industries, in mineral industries. Even in electronic industries, we have some, multinationals that are working there, and they need more, intermediate goods in order to be more, generating opportunities of jobs in these areas. So what we need to do, harmonization of efforts, because still our youth, when you are going to ask, I believe that President Sisi if he is going to ask about people there in Upper Egypt, they are still suffering from inflation. Their income cannot cope with inflation to a large extent. So they are suffering from to how extent they can manage this inflation. So the only way to manage inflation is to upgrade skills so that productivity may and investment, the top, it should be the top of our priority for the coming period. And not only by attracting foreign investment, but by exploiting our resources because for intermediate goods, a large part of what we are importing nowadays can be produced at home. And we have to work on that when we are going to inaugurate such complexes. We need to plan what products can be feasible, how to coach our youth towards starting their own business. And actually, Nashwa, if you go there, you are going to find successful experiences, but still they are minimal compared to the majority of youth there. That their education still not quite good because they are most of the youth there are graduates from technical schools, and we know quite well the type of education in our technical schools. Despite that, nowadays we are trying to upgrade our technical schools to a large extent. We have initiatives nowadays to turn such education into very promising education, but still we are talking about the graduate from last years. Still, they need to be upgraded in training centers. Who is going to do that? I believe NGOs can play such a role. Different ministries should coordinate their efforts in order to address youth. I would like to shed the light on a very promising experience by Ministry of Social Solidarity, which is the program Forza the Chance. This program is quite important at addressing the people or women that are benefiting from, monetary subsidy in Takaful and Karama, and they are trying to, empower them economically by addressing youth of the families that are benefiting from such Takaful and Karama, and upgrading their skills and enable them to find opportunity of job. Like such initiatives, you are going to find other initiatives. What we need is to coordinate these initiatives so that we can find their results in the coming period, in a very short period. And, this, all what I'm talking about can, emphasize to how extent we have a lot of potentialities and ambitious programs that if we concentrate on them and monitor the activities done, we can achieve a very good result in a very short period, inshallah.
Right. New Akhmin city also has 8 projects actually. In addition, we're talking about water and sewage again, taking this into consideration, all what is related to the infrastructure of the city. Well, this is on one side. On the other side, we're talking also about how the state is taking care of the human capital in general, whether we are talking about the training programs, technical schools, in addition to women empowerment as well in these areas. Could you tell us more about it?
This is a very important question. Thank you for it, Nashwa. Why? Because nowadays Egypt is suffering from shortage of dollar, hard currency. And we are trying to adjust our exchange rate policy. And taking that into consideration, what you mentioned regarding how we can achieve the best allocation of our resources and achieve cost effectiveness. You know quite well that if we are going to concentrate in Hayat Karima on infrastructure, we are going to spend a lot because the sanitation services and all this, they are taking a lot of money. And besides that, a large component of such projects are imported. Still, we need to enhance the local content of our production in the industrial sector. From here it comes that my point that I am keep talking about it is to try to manage decent life, concentrating first of all, giving priority of building human resources and attracting investment and trying to use the resources existing in order to generate production. And from here, the income is going to increase, and gradually we can enhance the type of services provided by the government so that we can, in this period, as a transitional period, to try to manage the challenge we are confronting nowadays. So, from my point of view, concentrating on human resources should be on top priority. We have a very good potentiality to do that because we have a large, number of youth existing. And you mentioned economic empowerment of women. I have a project, Nashwa, in Upper Egypt. We are training women, poor women, and allowing them to have opportunities of job. And you cannot imagine the positive repercussions of such training. Women are changed completely after such training by nowadays they are out of poverty, first of all. They can manage their life, and this is enhancing the quality of life for the whole family. And this is the only way to address, the high rate of birth rate. This is quite important because women, when according to all studies in different experiences, when women are having their economic activities, they are thinking quite well about having more children because of the opportunity cost of such children. And from here it comes that by addressing poor people and concentrating on women, you can achieve very good results.
Right, Dr. Still, we have more to discuss when we talk about Decent Life Initiative and all projects related, but allow me to move into a quick break, then we'll be back.
احنا بنجيب رجالة تشتغل معانا ونضع فيها الثقة.